Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at stretching and shrinking 4.1. Two, two learning targets that we have. I can write ratios from given lengths, and I can identify similar figures using ratios. Let's check out what ratios are. Ratios are going to be simply written in three different ways. It's a way of comparing two quantities. First of all, it can be written as 10 to 8 or 5 to 4. We're actually not going to be using this one too much. Fractions, we are going to be using those a lot. 10 over 8 or 5 over 4. So they did the long over the short, long over the short. Also, you can write it as 10 colon 8 or 5 colon 4. All right, if we look at this, we see some ratios right down here. These are straight from the book. But we can only, what I really want you to see is that the ratios need to be the same for a similar figure to actually appear. Let's practice writing ratios. Short to long. I'm going to write that as 8 over 12. Short 2 to 3. I'm going to write that as 2 over 3. Short to long, 5 over 6. Short to long, 10 over 12. Now, I'm going to break out my handy-dandy calculator right here. And then I'm going to actually divide each of these. 8 divided by 12, we get 0.6 repeating. And then 2 divided by 3, we get 0.6 repeating. If we get two fractions that actually come out to the same number right here, 0.6 repeating, we actually know that these two are similar. Let's see if these two are similar by dividing that out. 5 divided by 6, 0.83 repeating. And if the next one is 0.83 repeating, we found out that 10 divided by 12, we actually found, okay, it is 0.83 repeating. We found two similar parallelograms here. Those are similar if their ratios after we divide them out are the same. Okay, we see some more division here. 10 divided by 8, 5 divided by 4, they're equivalent. That means those parallelograms or figures are similar. Again, similar. Here we go. All right, this is actually what you have in your paper. What I want you to do is I want you to write out each of these, 12 and 20, short to long. That's what it says for number 1. Find the ratio of the length of a short to the long side. So we would write that as 12 over 20. Next one, short over long, 6, 10. Short over long, 9 over 15. And short over long, 6 over 20. Just by looking at it, hopefully you'll be able to tell that D is not similar. It's a little stretched out. How I can tell that with my numbers here, 20 and 20, well, if those two are the same, then the top numbers should be the same, which they're not. Also, 6 and 6, if those two numbers are the same, the bottom numbers better be as well, and they're not. So let's divide each of these out to figure if they're similar. Take your calculator, divide each of these out. I'll pause it, and then I'll come up with what each of these, 12 divided by 20, 6 divided by 10, 9 divided by 15, 6 divided by 20, what each of those are. All right, looking at this, 12 divided by 20, 0.6, next one 0.6, next one 0.6, and then finally we get 0.3. So that one at the end, 6 divided by 20, is not similar to the rest of them. All three of these are going to be similar. Number 2, what do you notice about the ratios for similar rectangles? Well, they all have different numbers, but if I multiply some of these, they're going to actually come out to give me a scale factor. And that's the next one, number 3. For two similar rectangles, find the scale factor from the smaller rectangle to the larger rectangle. I'm going to take some of these off. Okay, smaller rectangle, this one right here, 6 and 10. To the larger rectangle, 12 to 20. Well, what times 6 is going to get me to 12 times 2 times 2? That's my scale factor. So 4, 3, find that scale factor of 2. And what information does scale factor give about the two similar figures? Twice as big. All right. Compare the information given by the scale factor. Scale factor tells us how much bigger it is, but the ratios actually tell us, are these similar, by just dividing it. Please make sure that you answer 4 with that information. Again, scale factor tells us how much bigger. Ratio tells us, are they similar after we divide them out. B1, what I want you to do is I want you to write the ratios of longer to the shorter. So 10/8 this time. You fill out the rest for 7.5 and 6, 6 and 4.8. Put those right here. I want you to do the same thing. Divide it to see which of those are similar. But also pay attention to these angles right here to figure out which are similar. And that will be your answer for 2, B2. C you don't have to work on. And here's a little extra practice on the back side. I want you to find all the pair of similar parallelograms. Do not do B right now. And C, I want you to find the scale factor of each of these. So in this group, I want you to write down the ratios, figure out which one of them are similar, and then tell me the scale factor. And in this group, find out the ratios and tell me the scale factor of the similar ones. That's all I have, and we kept it within 7 minutes. That's pretty good. All right. Use this, ask any additional questions, and come back tomorrow with a lot of energy. Thanks. Have a great night.